Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are digging into a super fascinating topic. We are on the hunt for the second best weight loss exercise that you can repeat daily for fast results. Now you might be wondering, why on earth are we looking for the second best? Well, if you've ever felt completely burned out by those grueling workout plans that leave you literally too sore to move the next day, you know exactly what I mean. The best on paper? Yeah, it isn't always the best in reality. So let's use the latest data to build a routine you'll actually stick to.
Okay, let's dive right into this. When we ask the central question here, what is the absolute best exercise you can repeat daily for fast weight loss? The most obvious answer that pops into your head? It's actually a total trap. We've basically been conditioned to think that to lose weight, we absolutely have to destroy ourselves in the gym 7 days a week. But as you'll see, science paints a very, very different picture.
Let's take a look at this data from Healthline. Now, if we're talking about sheer, pure calorie burn, running is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. A 185-pound person burns a massive 965 calories in just a single hour of running. Water polo comes in second, and then things like circuit training and calisthenics, they sit a bit further down the list at around 710 calories. So if we base our routine purely on these numbers, the answer seems super simple, right? Just lace up your shoes and run for an hour every single day.
965 calories is an incredibly impressive number. But here's the plot twist. You should absolutely not run every single day if you're looking for a sustainable, repeatable routine. Think about it. Running is a high-impact sport. Every single time your foot strikes that pavement, your joints are absorbing a tremendous amount of force. If your knees sound like Rice Krispies every time you walk up a flight of stairs, you know exactly what I mean. The injury rates are high, the impact stress requires some pretty serious recovery time, and let's be honest, for a lot of us, it's just not sustainable long-term. Sure, you might burn a ton of calories on Monday, but if your knees are screaming on Tuesday and Wednesday, your weekly calorie burn just completely stalls out.
So the crucial point is this. Sometimes the number one option on paper is an absolute disaster for your actual daily life. And that is exactly why we are looking at the runners-up today. High-intensity interval training, circuit training, and walking. These guys offer high calorie burn, low impact, and best of all, manageable recovery. You can actually wake up and do them all over again tomorrow.
All right, moving to section 1. Why HIIT works so fast. Let's get into the science here. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is understanding the magic behind high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. It involves short bursts of really intense effort followed by brief periods of rest. But the actual secret to its success? It's something called EPOC, which stands for Excess Post-Exercise Oxygen Consumption. I know, it sounds super technical, but it's essentially just the afterburn effect. See, when you push your body hard doing burpees or mountain climbers or kettlebell swings, you create this massive oxygen debt. Your body literally has to work overtime to restore itself, basically turning your metabolism into a roaring furnace long after you've hit the showers.
And get this, how long does that furnace stay lit? Up to a full 24 hours. That is an absolutely punchy statistic right there. After a targeted 20 or 30-minute HIIT or circuit training workout, your body just stays in this elevated fat-burning mode for an entire day. You are literally burning extra calories while you're just sitting at your desk working or relaxing watching TV that evening. How cool is that?
To really put that data into perspective for a real-world scenario, a quick 20-minute HIIT session at home can actually produce a total caloric expenditure comparable to a 45-minute steady jog. That's once you factor in that 24-hour afterburn effect, of course. So you're getting maximum fat loss in literally half the time, and you're doing it all without subjecting your knees, your hips, and your ankles to the daily pounding of the pavement. Okay, on to section 2, the secret weapon, daily walking.
Think of it like this. If HIIT is the powerful engine of our weight loss vehicle, daily walking is the premium fuel that keeps it moving consistently day in and day out. Just hitting 8,000 to 10,000 steps means you're burning an extra 300 to 500 calories a day, with zero recovery demand. Nothing. Walking brilliantly bridges that gap between your intense workout days. It doesn't tax your central nervous system, and it actively reduces cortisol. And as we know, cortisol is that pesky stress hormone that actually tells your body to store belly fat. Plus, it leaves your muscles totally fresh for your next strength or HIIT session.
Oh, and if you want to level up your walking routine, just drop an incline on your treadmill. Scientists have actually confirmed that incline walking burns 7% more fat than running. Seriously, 7% more. Why does that happen? Well, walking at an incline keeps your heart rate nicely in what we call zone 2. In Zone 2, your body prioritizes using stored fat as its primary fuel source. But when your heart rate spikes during a run, your body kind of panics and switches over to burning carbohydrates instead. It's an incredible little biohack.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this all builds. The optimal daily combination.
So we know the number one exercise on paper is a trap, but how do we put our amazing runners-up together? Well, this brilliantly illustrates exactly how to do that. We have systematic reviews from Obesity Reviews showing some seriously heavy academic credibility here. The clinical data consistently proves that combined training modalities, so mixing aerobic movement with resistance or high-intensity intervals, consistently outperform any isolated exercise routine when it comes to changing your actual body composition.
In fact, check this out. A massive 2024 systematic review published in Sports Medicine found that combined programs produce 40% greater fat loss than doing just a single modality alone. 40%. If you only walk or if you only lift weights, you are leaving almost half of your potential results right there on the table. The real magic happens when these modalities overlap and work together as a team. And this study from the Journal of Health, Wellness, and Community Research really drives the point home. Aerobic training, like our secret weapon walking, absolutely excels in pure fat reduction. But resistance training and HIIT, they build the lean muscle. And since muscle is highly metabolically active, every single pound you build essentially increases your resting metabolism. Together, they are basically the absolute perfect pair.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in the real world? Here is your actionable, totally sustainable weekly plan. Step 1. Commit to 30 to 45 minutes of daily walking, aiming for that awesome 8,000 step threshold. Step 2. Add in just 2 to 3 short HIIT or strength sessions per week. Remember, just 20 minutes is all you need to trigger that massive 24-hour afterburn. And step 3, utilize 2 to 3 days for active recovery or stretching, where walking is literally your only required movement. Guys, this is a plan you can realistically do for the rest of your life.
I want to summarize our entire core thesis today with this incredibly powerful quote from the experts at Gold's Gym. Intensity and consistency matter more than duration. A focused 40-minute session beats a sloppy 90-minute one. I mean, talk about hitting the nail on the head. You absolutely do not need to spend 2 grueling hours in the gym. You do not need to run until your knees give out on you. Consistency, preserving that muscle, and getting daily low-impact movement in will beat out sheer grueling caloric expenditure every single time. For sure.
So I leave you with this final, provocative question. Are you ready to trade the grueling, injury-prone number one exercise for the highly sustainable, results-driven runner-up starting tomorrow? You have the data, you understand the incredible science of the afterburn, and you now have the actionable plan for the second best weight loss exercise routine you can actually repeat daily for super fast results. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today, and I honestly can't wait to see how you optimize your routine.